All right guys, welcome back to Front Seat Driver. My name's Jason. Today I'm going to do a quick walk around of my 2017 Corvette Z06 7-speed manual transmission. I've had a few people message me or comment on the video I should do more of a walk around on the Z06 because I really never have. So anyway, we're going to do that today. But I also wanted to tell you kind of why I ended up buying the Z06, even though it's been a while now. I've always kind of thought, well, you know, I want to sell the Lamborghini. I want something a little bit faster to replace that because my Grand Sport, you know, was a little slower obviously than the Lamborghini was, and I ended up keeping the Lambo for another year and a half. But anyway, I did get rid of that, and so the other biggest factor was I wanted a manual transmission. The Grand Sport that I had before was an automatic, and driving around with Steve and him listening to his car with the rev match and the sounds, I was like, I can't reproduce those sounds with this car. Plus the driver engagement, I haven't had a manual 20 something years. So I thought that's what I wanted and I wasn't wrong. Absolutely love it. I am gonna keep this car for a little bit longer. When the C8 Z06 comes out, I plan to get that. So anyway, we'll see, but this is the car for now and I still absolutely love this car as much now as I did the day actually I like it more than the day I bought it. Anyway, so let's take a look right now. All right guys, so this is my 2017 Corvette Z06. Like I said, it is a manual transmission and it is in Corvette Racing Yellow. One of the things that I've loved about this car is I love the Jake skull on the Stinger stripe. That thing looks amazing to me. I'm really happy that it came with this. This is not something that I added. I'm not really gonna get into modifications too much today that I've done to it, but I love the Jake Stinger skull. My wife loved it. The last Corvette we were gonna get had it, and then we ended up getting a different Grand Sport Collector Edition from a different dealer, and it did not have it, so we were kind of disappointed. But anyway, that is one of my favorite things about this car. Let's lift the hood real quick. And I love that LT4 Corvette engine. 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, supercharger. The only thing that I'll talk about that I've done really is the Hall Tech. I had the AFE cold air intake and I was gonna switch it whenever I bought this car. I was gonna take it from the Grand Sport, put on here, but since it was a manual, it wasn't able to be switched, so I like Hall Tech as well, so we went ahead and did Hall Tech. But I don't keep mine as clean as Steve's, but honestly, it's still pretty clean inside. Another thing I love, underneath the hood, Z06 with the Corvette badge, love it, absolutely love it. All right guys, one of the things that I really liked is whenever I bought this car, it already had the carbon flash mirrors. I didn't have to have them painted or anything like that. I really like that color transition. I love that contrast between yellow and the dark colors. And so I was super excited that this had it because again, I think you can have too much yellow on a car. I love yellow, but too much can be too much. So I really was happy that the mirrors came in the carbon flash. Another thing you'll notice is this roof is carbon fiber, although it's not actual carbon fiber. It is just a wrap, you can feel it. But I do think it helps set the car off a little bit better with the carbon fiber on the roof, the carbon fiber wrap. Again, I love yellow. It's one of my favorite colors on a car, but there can still be too much yellow. And so I would actually really like to do the area right here, but I don't have the match of this carbon fiber wrap, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. But at some point, I may just go ahead and black out the whole thing and then it would all match up. But either way, I'm really happy with the way it is. So being that it's a Z06, it does come with the full length side skirts rockers here, as opposed to the ones that come to about right here and then cut back in like on my Corvette Grand Sport did. And I'll be honest with you, I like both. I think these look a little bit better, but I really didn't mind the other ones either. This is not a Z07 package, so it does not have the same suspension as a Z06 with the Z07 package. It also does not have the carbon ceramic brakes. So there's a few differences. I want to say that added like $7,000 to the total. But anyway, and then another thing that I really like about Z06 versus like the Grand Sport is I really like the clear taillights. I know Steve did that to his car. I think the clear taillights look really cool. Some people don't care for them. I think they look pretty cool. It's not that I didn't like the red, but you know, I like that. And it came with tinted windows, which was nice because I hate to say it, but I didn't want to tint the windows on my Grand Sport because I loved the blue interior and I wanted it to be visible by other people. I don't have that on this car. And so this one came with the tinted windows, but with all of the black accents. I think the dark black tinted windows looks fantastic. plus it cuts down a little bit on the heat when you're driving. So another great feature. Now, because this is a 3LZ, anything that's a 2LZ and above has the front cameras from, I believe it's 2016 to current, obviously, models, but it has the front cameras, as you can see right here. And let me tell you, thank goodness, because that has saved me a few times. However, if you don't always, sometimes they won't engage. You actually have to press the button inside the car to actually engage those cameras. It doesn't always work, but it is definitely helpful because this front end is very long and you can't see the bottom. This actually came with carbon fiber on the front splitter. However, I guess the guy that owned it before me had scratched it, and so they just did a carbon flash paint. I didn't really like it. It didn't match perfectly, so we swapped out the front splitter, and I threw some slip low on the bottom as well. But I also added the stage 3 winglets here. They were not on the car. It was the stage 2, the smaller ones, which looked pretty good as well. I really didn't dislike them. I like the look of the stage 3 better. All right, guys, now to the interior. One thing I really like about this one, it does have the microfiber suede inserts on the seats with yellow stitching. I know a lot of them. I don't have the competition seats, which would be my ideal choice, but this one is not bad. I actually do really like these seats, and then many of them come with the full leather. But this one also has the microfiber suede Alcantara on the steering wheel, along the A pillars, along the, whatever you call that middle section right there. Anyway, has lots of the microfiber suede inside, which I really like. Has carbon fiber on the steering wheel, the matte finish carbon fiber. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get in there. And I actually had planned on swapping out the dashboard to the carbon fiber, the matte carbon fiber dashboard, much like Steve has in his car, although he did the gloss to match his car. But I was going to do the matte finish to match mine. It's what I had in the Grand Sport. Absolutely loved it. I just haven't done it yet, and probably will not, being that next year the Z06 with the C8 comes out. All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to show you how to take the roof off of a C7 Corvette. I have done a video on this quite a while back, but since there's a lot of new people getting Corvettes with the C8 coming out, a lot of C7s being sold, it's a pretty simple process. Just pull these 2 levers. There's one on each side. Release those and press this button right here, and you are good to go to be able to remove the top. So Steve normally sits in his car with his door open and just carries it up and over. I always just keep my door closed, the window open, so I can lean in and just pull the top out like this. And come over. And you can slide it right into place. There's little pins and everything that's set into place. Lock it in, you're done. So now that the roof's off and we can see a little bit better in here, I just wanted to point out the main reason why I've got it is this manual gear shifter right here. And one of the things that I love, and I've mentioned it before, is the rev match. Unfortunately, every time you start the car and you go to drive, you do have to press the rev match paddles to engage rev match. But I tell you one thing, it sounds fantastic every time you're driving. There is a fair amount of space in the back. I still got another package of slip low back there. But even with the roof in the back, there's still a nice amount of room behind the seat. All right, now one thing I wanted to show you guys, and we'll start the car here real quick. I love that sound. Love the emblem. So if you're going forward and your camera does not engage, hit the home button right here. We'll bring up this screen, push over to the next one, hit your front cameras, and there you go. So it's a great, I will say it's not the best camera in the world, but it definitely gives you an idea of what's in front of you to help you keep from, you know, scratching your front splitter. You see your curb right here, that means you better stop. All right, guys, so one last thing. Even if you're driving around with the top off, you can still fit some stuff underneath the roof. So that way, if you're out driving around and it's a nice day and you got the roof off, you can still bring a few items with you if you'd like. And that's about it. You know, I didn't try to cover everything. Just try to cover the things I think people might be interested in. If you have any other questions, definitely leave them down in the comments, and I'll try to answer the best I can. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy Corvette content, please like and subscribe. And I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.